What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to VHS Tacos with another excellent, this is actually good, I swear, please don't leave. October's out, November's in. So we are in wild card season, so we're gonna hit you hard and fast with the almost 1 year anniversary of Terminator, Dark Fate by Tim Miller. Give you a bit of a plot breakdown. John Connor, dead. Sarah, missing. New person, Danny, played by Natalia Reyes. Boom! Mackenzie Davis shows up as Grace. Gabrielle Luna as the Rev 9, who is a Terminator within a Terminator. It's pretty sweet. Linda Hamilton shows up as Sarah Connor. Partially takes out the Rev 9. Carl? A great big standoff in a dam. Credits roll. I know I skipped a lot of stuff, but we're gonna get to it. The good. The cast in this, excellent. A+ all the way around. It absolutely helps that we have Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger back. Because Linda Hamilton, it feels like she never left a beat. She looks great in her older years. She's got the physicality to it, but she also carries a lot of the emotional heft. So John Connor, he gets blasted in a flashback as a kid. So you get a lot of that emotional degradation, that emotional turmoil going on with Linda Hamilton. I mean, she kills it because just the moment she shows up, you see that look on her face that she's got nothing left. And then of course you have Arnold back as, like I said, Carl. So a lot of stuff has happened since John got blasted. Once we finally meet up with Arnold in his cabin in Texas, he goes over how he's actually settled down with a wife and a child. Not his kid. He is able to adapt to human emotion and human behavior. It's a pretty big development in this Terminator franchise. Now they tried a little bit with Terminator Salvation with the whole what if a Terminator had emotions and feelings, and the less we talk about that movie, the better. Newcomers this time around, you have Natalia Reyes as Danny. She is our primary focus. She is the new John Connor, so to speak. And you know, everything starts off happy-go-lucky. Her and her brother Diego, played by Diego Boneta, they both carry some good emotional baggage with them. They sell the fear and the terror well. We don't get to see much of Diego, but we're going to get to that in a minute. But she does a great job with it because over the course of the movie, she goes from scared little girl all the way up to I've fully accepted my role as leader of the resistance. This is what it has to be. And she does a great job with it. You know, it's a very natural arc. There is one minor issue, but we'll get to that in just a moment as well. And then you have the new Terminator, the new big bad, the Rev 9, played by Gabriel Luna. The dude kills it. But this time around, we have a much more deadlier Terminator, but also much more charismatic. And Gabriel Luna, he is such a charismatic individual. When he's on screen, when he's trying to blend in with the crowd, he kills it. There's one scene in particular where they're down, like on the Texas-Mexico border. They are locked up in this camp, and so he disguises himself as a border patrol officer. And the way that he's walking through, you know, he's got that smirk on his face. He's got that bit of a Texas twang to his voice. I mean, he kills it. You know, he's very charismatic. He blends in, and it's a great progression for the next Terminator. You all have Mackenzie Davis as Grace. She is a Terminator human augmented hybrid. So they took what most certainly did not work from Terminator Salvation by part man, part machine, and then they made it better. Yeah, this time around in the future, the Resistance has decided that in order to fight back against this ever-growing, ever-evolving threat of Terminators, they have to get on their playing field but never lose their humanity as well. They handle it really well. It's a cool, interesting idea that has its nice pitfalls to it. The action in this movie is freaking awesome. It's shot well. None of it's all that shaky cam crap nonsense. None of it's obscured in the dark to hide any subpar god-awful CGI or anything like that. There's that one scene in the trailer where the plane's crashing while the Terminator is fighting the new Terminator, and Sarah Connor's helping Arnold Terminator fight it, and it's such a dynamic scene. There's like 400,000 things going on, but nothing ever gets lost in the mayhem. It doesn't get lost in the mix. There's a really awesome fight scene in the beginning where Grace is fighting Rev 9 in this factory, which is like our first major action set piece. And it's so fluid. Everything just, it flows so well. The timing of the action beats are so great. Linda Hamilton is great. Arnold hasn't lost a freaking beat. Gabriel Luna going toe-to-toe with the Austrian oak himself is as intimidating as it is awesome. And Mackenzie Davis, she does such a great job as well. Some other good, you have the whole plot line concerning Arnold, who is both T-800 and Carl. A lot of people weren't overly fond of that, saying that, you know, why is there a domesticated Terminator? Although they do seem to forget, you know, the holy grail of the franchise, Terminator 2, technically domesticated a Terminator as well, so you can't have your pie and eat it too. The ending. This movie, it doesn't end with the promise of 400,000 sequels. It doesn't end on a cliffhanger. This movie ends, and it ends. Yeah, they took this as an opportunity to erase all the crap that's come before and then put a final stamp on the franchise, end it there, go out on a high note. Now for the bad. Like I mentioned earlier, Danny's brother Diego, old boy gets shafted so hard. He gets set up as such a charismatic, very loving brother, loving son, a bit of a flirt with one of the downstairs neighbors. And they off that boy so hard. They off him so hard, I'm almost tempted to say they fridged that man. In the chase, once they escape the factory, they're driving down the road. There's a car crash that ensues. He's stuck, and Danny's trying to get him out. Grace says, nah, it ain't gonna happen. Old boy finna die. You can't save him. She's like, nah, he's my brother. You know, I gotta at least attempt it. Yeah, no, they don't save him. Truck crashes into that truck, literally vaporizes the man, and that's it. My second biggest issue with this movie is when we get to the point where we meet Arnold, where we get to his cabin. It's literally an Avengers 2 Age of Ultron situation where we get to Clint's house, that cabin. The movie comes to a screeching halt. Any super fast forward momentum that this movie has, it absolutely dies. Oh God, it doesn't know what to do. It pauses out there, and then of course we have the conflict between Sarah and the Terminator. The Terminator is feeling guilty because he killed John, but now he's sending Sarah all of these text messages and these encrypted messages about, you know, this Terminator is going to show up at this time, this Terminator, because he can sense the anomalies and he's able to figure out the locations of them and send it to her. That way she can show up, take out the Terminator to avoid any kind of future disaster like that. So he's trying to repent for it. So you have a lot of interesting things like that. You have the turning point for Danny where she finally decides, like, you know, this is now officially my fight. There's no way out of it. Another minor little issue there is that she all of a sudden becomes like a John Wick with weapons after one training session, which, okay, sure, a movie's got a movie, I guess. Yeah, it's not drama for the sake of drama. It's drawn out drama for the sake of padding the runtime, because this is not a long movie to begin with. It's so upsetting because everything that happens before, everything that happens after is fantastic, and then the story beats and the plot stuff that they have shoved in to that whole cabin scene are very, very interesting, but it's not kinetic enough to keep that pace going, and so it comes to a screeching halt, and then it tries to kick it back into high gear. So, that's your movie recommendation for the weekend. Terminator Dark Fate by Tim Miller, bringing back the two OGs, Linda Hamilton and the Austrian oak himself, Arnie. This movie's fantastic. It's got great action. It has great story beats. A lot of people panned over it because of some of the story choices. A lot of people panned over it because, once again, we're still making sequels to these legacy films. But it's okay because this movie does it so well. That's your movie recommendation for the weekend, guys. Keep it locked in here on YouTube. Make sure you drop a like, drop a subscribe. If you want to see more, let us know down in the comments below. If you saw Terminator Dark Fate, and if you did, how'd you like it? And if you saw it and you didn't like it, let me know that too. We can discuss it. We can also discuss how this movie is absolutely okay with killing a kid. And until next time, make sure you follow us over there on Instagram. Make sure you follow us over there on Twitter. And we will see you guys on the next movie night. This is VHS Taco signing off. Adios.